going to start with Stan Rodriguez, professor of Kumeyaay Language and Culture, tribal council member of the Santa Isabel Band, and of the Ipai Nation.
Auka ipeña mati ipe cham. Stamunya chuhinya makopai wikonan. Pele hilkoi nya we wiupe ye mat kulohui. Ye mat yuhan mat kwahan. Ye mata kanab. Kanab pe ye wama shkuya. Ye misie. Chkhaya khan mayum nevura gifte church. Good morning, everyone. My name is Stan Rodriguez. I'm an Ipai. I'm an Ipai Kumeyaay from the Santa Isabel Band of the Ipai Nation. And I just wanted to welcome all of you to this land. We say, Mat Yukhan, Mat Kwahan, this true land, Mat Ewik. Many of you may not know that this land here in La Jolla, the Kumeyaay word or the Ipai word for this is Mat Kulahui, the place of the caves. And there was a story that talked about when the people came, they wanted knowledge. They came to this area and they went to the ocean and they asked the Creator to bring knowledge to us. And they told the people to go up into the mountains and wait, make a big house. What came out of this area was a huge snake with spots on it, huge spots. And it went up. This trail, you know this trail is I-8. That's where he went. Yeah. So he went up the trail, went all the way up into the Laguna Mountains, and there was a huge enclosure that was made because the Creator said that knowledge would come from the west. So the people got scared when the snake that was miles long entered this. And they got scared and they lit that building on fire and it exploded. And they said all the spots started going into people's mouths. And people started speaking different languages. Ipai, Tipai, the languages from here. Then other languages came. Luceño, Korea, other different languages. But the knowledge that was there was too much for one person to soak in at once. So most of the knowledge stayed up in the mountains. And that's why today we have to come and learn over again. That's why we have institutions for this. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the significance here. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, real quick before I start singing, was when the Creator made the sun. The Creator held the ball of brilliant, bright light with his thumb, flicked it into the sky, and it became Enya, the sun. But all of you, look at that mark that you have on your thumbs. It's like a half circle. Look at that mark. All of you that don't have fingernail polish on. With that mark that was left, that was a mark that the Creator left on all of us. That was a mark of creativity. So when you sing, that is a Creator coming out of you. When you dance, that is a Creator coming out of you. When you make these things, that is a Creator coming out of you. When you study and pass and graduate, that is a Creator coming out of you. So this place of learning, just wanted to share that because in our way, the Ipai Tipai Kumeyaay way, we value learning. We value these schools. We value knowledge. We value the expression. So in our language, I just wanted to say for all that you do, both faculty, staff, students, graduates, guests who have come, we say Chahaya Khan, and that means we praise all of you for everything you do. So with that said, now it's time to bring these young ladies out here to sing. Well, I'm going to sing. You're going to dance, right? No pressure. As we say in our language, and that means get up and come over here. Now, I'm going to sing 3 songs with a turtle shell rattle. These are called Ipai songs. Many of you have heard of bird songs. That's one cycle. There's approximately 22 different song cycles in our way. And each song cycle has hundreds of songs and it tells stories. So, I know you know how to do this dance. It's a little bit different. Are you ladies ready? So I'm going to do a couple like this. So this first song, it talks about the land that's here. Matpuyo gawe kamaso, matpuyo gawe kamaso, gawe kamaso, matpuyo gawe kamaso, matpuyo gawe kamaso, gawe kamaso, matpuyo gawe kamaso, matpuyo gawe kamaso. Amateu she ai no ma we kamaso, amatpuyo gawe kamaso, gawe kamaso, matpuyo gawe kamaso, matpuyo gawe kamaso, gawe kamaso, matpuyo gawe kamaso, matpuyo gawe kamaso. And that first song, it acknowledges the land that we're on. The next song tells a story about that great snake that I was telling you about in the story. Here we go, 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 here we go. We ho, here we ho, here we ho, here we ho, here we ho. Here we go, here we go. If you hold your way, if you hold, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. The next song that I want to sing, because like I said, I'm going to sing 4 songs, is a song about Ukuchumayo, teachers. Now, how many of you in here are teachers? How many of you are faculty here? Come on, be bold. Raise those hands. Okay, this song is to honor each and every one of you. And for those that didn't raise your hands, you are also teachers. You teach somebody. We are all teachers and we're all learners. If I go to Punyawayo, Ayukimana, Nam Hiru. If I go to Punyawayo, Ayukimana, Nam Hiru. If I go to Punyawayo, Ayukimana, Nam Hiru. If I go to Punyawayo, Ayukimana. If I go to Punyawayo, Ayukimana, Nam Hiru. If I go to Punyawayo, Ayukimana, Nam Hiru. If I go to Punyawayo, Ayukimana, Nam Hiru. If I go to Punyawayo, Ayukimana. The final song that I'm going to sing is a different kind of singing. I use a gourd just like many of you have seen. And on this rattle, there's two frogs that are going up. And here at the top, there's the sun and the moon. And it talks about a story when the sun and the moon were going to get married. How many of you ever been to a wedding before? It's kind of like a doing like this, huh? We all come together, do things. Well, the sun and the moon went to the top of the mountain. All the animals were getting ready. They were going up there. But there were two frogs. I'm going to keep this clean, okay? There were two frogs that were in love. And then they said, well, let's wait until everybody else is, out of sight, and then we'll talk. So, when they all went up, the two frogs, how many of you ever been in a situation like, okay, I won't. So the two frogs got together, things happen. So then after, I guess the male frog was smoking a cigarette and said, don't smoke either. Okay. But the girl, she said, something's going on. Her stomach started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They said, what happened? She goes, I don't know what's going on. She jumped into the water. All of a sudden, boom, a bunch of pollywogs popped out. And they said, look what happened. When you and I, we got to go warn the sun and the moon. So they started hopping up to the top. Everybody was waiting. They were waiting for those two frogs to come. And the sun and the moon said, what took you so long? And they said, sun, moon, you cannot get married. And they said, why can't we get married? And they said, because when you get married, you're going to get together. And look what happened when we got together. And they looked at the pond, and there were all these little frogs out there. And they said, sun, you are sacred. Moon, you are sacred. There's only one of you in the skies. But if you two get together, the sky will be filled with suns and moons. So all the animals agreed. So they said, what should we do? So they agreed that the sun would be up, the moon would be asleep. And when the sun went to sleep, the moon would come out. And that's why things are the way they are today. Now every now and then, there's what do you call that? You'll see the sun and the moon up around the same time, and you say, and yeah, it's not. You say, talking teamwork. They're doing kisses at each other. And then every now and then, there's an eclipse. Okay, so anyway. Are you ready? Final song. Stay focused, grasshoppers. Okay. Hanya ko mai mai, hanya ko mai mai, hanya ko mai mai, hanya ko mai ko mai, hanya ko mai mai, ko mai ko mai, hanya ko mai mai, ko mai mai, hanya ko mai mai, hanya ko mai mai, hanya ko mai ko mai, hanya ko mai mai, ko mai ko mai, hanya ko mai mai. Oh my my, hanya ko my my, hanya ko my my, hanya ko my hanya ko my my. Oh my, punya we 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 hanya ko my my. Oh my, hanya ko my my. Oh my my, hanya ko my my, hanya ko my my, hanya ko my hanya ko my my. Oh my hanya ko my my. Oh my hanya ko my my, hanya ko my my, hanya ko my hanya ko my my. Oh my hanya ko my my. Oh my hanya ko my my, hanya ko my my, hanya ko my hanya ko my my. Oh my, hanya we 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 hanya ko my my. Oh ha 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 ha. Ya ite gaya kan, maya kan memsho. Po, newala nyipja kan misiye chahaya kan. Thank you very much.
Please welcome Chancellor Pradeep Khosla.
Thank you, Wayne. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to this amazing day, a very important day for UC San Diego. Before I say a few words, let me just acknowledge that, as you probably all know, UC San Diego sits on the traditional homeland of the Kumeyaay people, and they've been here since times immemorial. And this is a great way to start the celebration of what I think is history going forward, where we're going to capture the existence and the presence of Kumeyaay people on this land through this art piece made by one of the very own, Johnny Contreras. Thank you, sir, for doing this. Really appreciate this. So, the piece is titled When the World Comes to Life, and I did not understand what it meant because I had not seen this piece until they just unveiled it. And it was clear to me that there is life in this piece. Let me say a little bit about what this piece represents. So you will notice in this piece the three-dimensional metal panels that are layered with intricately cut figures. Let's see, can we see them? Okay, I think we can. Plants and birds in both abstract and representational styles. So on one side, the individuals are intertwined almost as if they're dancing, and as the male and the female forms weave in the middle, they become more androgynous, representing the gender spectrum, family, and community. And this is especially significant given where it is located, because it is located right across from our LGBTQIA living and learning community. So this is very significant, and this was on purpose. This is not by accident. The two students whose brainchild this art piece was, Alexandra and Roy, there they are. Thank you very much. I have to tell you a little story about them. So they really wanted to do this. They wanted to find an indigenous artist, and they wanted to raise money on their own. So true to the spirit of UC San Diego students, I think they went around everywhere trying to raise money. I don't know how much they raised, but at the very end, they were, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000 short, and they come to me asking for a contribution towards that amount. And I not only like the idea, but I like their zeal, and I like their commitment to bring native art to this campus, to bring art that is relevant, culturally relevant to this campus. So I said, okay, we'll take care of it. 3,000 is not that much, so don't raise us anymore time. Let's just do it. So I'm so glad that you came, because everybody comes with a chance of money. You know that, right? I don't know how you found out, but I'm glad you came. This is a great legacy that you're leaving for UC San Diego. Your ideas here are going to make a difference. As we try to become a more diverse and more inclusive community, one of the goals, at least my goal, is to complement our art collection with pieces that are culturally sensitive, culturally relevant, and where each and every one of us, when they walk on this campus, they see something that we recognize with, something of us, of our culture on this campus. And I think that's the way we want this campus to be adopted by our community as a destination, which is a vision that I've been pushing for a while now, that I want this campus to be a destination. Destination doesn't mean you just come in for restaurants. It also means for art, culture, entertainment. And this is part of the art we're talking about. This piece also is a third piece in what I think of now as in our pieces, in our legacy pieces. The first one was the Chicano mural by Mario Torreira, and that is out there on the classroom building, right across from the faculty club. The second piece was the black legacy mural by Andrea Rushing, which is inside the Price Center as you walk across, as you walk down the street. So this is the latest piece. So I'm so thankful that this is one of many pieces over time as we go forward. You're going to see more and more art on this campus that represents each and every one of us. People who are here today, people who will be here tomorrow, but whenever they come, they should know that this is a campus that welcomes each and every one of us and everybody who's on this campus. So let me just say thank you very much. Thank you for the collaboration, and thank you all for coming. When you get a chance, congratulate these young students. They're really amazing. Are you graduating? You are? So I'm going to see you in a week, right? Okay, so Alex is graduating, so congratulations on your graduation. So thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Khosla. I want to mention that this is the man who started the Tribal Membership Initiative, which is tribally enrolled students graduate debt-free. Is that correct, from UC San Diego? We're the only UC that has this. So next, let's all welcome to the stage a noted author, Michael Connolly of the Campo Band, just south of here. I believe you're an engineer by training, or just a really important person in the community as a historian and also in everyday action for all the different reservations in this area. So please welcome Michael Connolly to the stage.
Thank you. Welcome. It's a pleasure to be here today. I hope you're all doing well. It's considerably different in Campo. It's clear skies. It was over 90 degrees yesterday, and so I come down here and it's getting a little bit chilly for me. I'm not quite acclimatized to the coastal area. Artistic expression is something that our people have done for thousands of years throughout this area. It's been something that we have looked to the sky, we have looked to our stories, we've looked to the meanings of the world around us, we've looked to the lessons that people have been taught and have been passed on. And these have been integrated into the pictographs and the petroglyphs and our baskets and our pottery and so many different parts, so many aspects of our lives. And there have been hard times where people didn't have the opportunity to really engage in that type of artistic expression. And it's wonderful to see more and more of that resurgence that's coming out now, where people are taking these different medias and they're putting that appreciation for beauty, that appreciation for the songs, that appreciation for the stories, putting that into these new forms that in some cases have never been there before. And I think for Johnny, it's been really, he's in a metal phase right now, and his some of the work that he's done with stainless steel and aluminum is really transformative. But what I really appreciate most about the way that he engages in his art is it's not only the beauty, but it's searching for a deeper meaning within that expression of the art. And I've had a lot of talks with him about different aspects of our history, our culture, the cosmology, and our relationship as people to the world around us, our integration with the world around us. And he really understands that, and he really seeks to find ways to incorporate that into the art that he creates. And I think this is really a wonderful piece, and it's a good testament to a millennia of expressions by Kumeyaay people, and the continuation of that. I don't like to see it as us returning to this area because I like to view it that we've never left. We've always been here. Our word for the land is mud, and our word for our body is mud. And the land is us. We are the land. The two will never be separated. So thank you, Johnny, for this great work.
All right, so now we're going to hear from the artist himself, Johnny Bear Contreras.
Okay. Good morning. Jay, could you come on up here with me? Where are you, Jay? Calling Jay. There he is. Well, what I'd like to do today, in honor of the ancestors, is be able to have my words pronounced Kumeyaay by my cousin Jay here. I'll keep it short. For me, that's what's going to do the job of what I feel as an artist, what I'm here for. So first, I'd like to say welcome to all the ancestors before us, the ones that are here with us now, and the ones that will be coming. We recognize, we feel, we see those that have been here. We feel those that are coming. The speeches from the individuals that I highly respect, that have given me direction. Stan, thank you, Stan. I know he's not here. Mike, thank you for those words. Chancellor, thank you for the connectivity. New realms as an artist. This is a new realm for me. New realm. The artwork, as an artist, the best thing for me, for my inner soul, my inner workings, is when somebody of different levels, of different places, different opportunities, the individuals I mentioned, the individuals I'm looking at now, when they interpret, feel, connect, and describe what I've been able to put together and bring to a place, as an artist, that's what solidifies my intent. My intent is that. My intent is to recognize the peoples that may not have had recognition. As a youth, recognition as a Native person wasn't always first and foremost. I identified with many different groups, but I told a story last Friday when I was 16 years old, and we went to San Francisco for the first time, me and a couple friends. And I found the Native American Center. Back then, I believe it was the American Indian Movement. And right next door was the LGBT headquarters. And I felt very comfortable because back then in the 70s, I too was an outsider, misunderstood side. And here we are so many years later, and in the same company, and I couldn't imagine better company for diversity. I believe in inclusion, that we're all petals of a flower, the flower on Mother Earth. I call the flower on the second piece, I call that the human flower.
Human flower would be mock torch.
Mock torch. I like that, all right? It'll be a quiz later. So, that was from the very beginning. When I met with Roy and Alex, I was so excited. I was doing this no matter what. Not 100% sure whether they are aware of some of the process to get to this point. As Chancellor so eloquently put it, that it's a process, that we've come to a new place, and that we're making connection in these ways. This isn't only a place for certain aspects of learning, but it's a place to be welcome. And it's a place, from what I gathered from his words, is to gain strength, to deal with the different aspects of the world out there. And so I took a lot from that, and it means a lot. And this was once mine and ours up on San Pasquale, and now it's all yours. So it's all ours. Thank you. And so with that, I'd like to close with saying, again, recognizing all the ancestors, may all things be done in a good way.
Yeah.
So this is a piece that I've been carrying around for a long time. It's actually from Ohlone territory in Oakland, and it's from the Intertribal Friendship House there. I've been wondering why I've been carrying it, and it showed up the other day. I didn't expect it, so I think it's meant for you. So I'm going to call up Alex and Roy very soon. Actually, why don't you so I'm responsible for, so Alex and Roy are definitely the leaders in this, but there's so many people to thank, and that's my job. I want to thank Muir College Council, who really made this possible, the Chancellor, the Executive Vice Chancellor, the Vice Chancellors who are here, the Dean of Undergraduate Education, and all the provosts who have been supporting this with so much emotional and spiritual energy. Our teachers today, Stan Rodriguez and Mike Connolly, the LGBTQ Center, the LGBTQIA Living and Learning Community, the Intertribal Resource Center, the Native American Student Alliance, the VC of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, Becky Pettit, in your office. As you know, we are your agents in the field, that we are all part of your office. The staff here at Muir College who are so committed, I can't talk about it, I'll just shed tears. But in particular, I want to point out Haley, who has stewarded this through the darkness. So thank you so much, Haley. We have some special people here. Is Scott still here? No? Okay, so Scott and Richard actually risked their necks to mount this thing when our lift broke. I want to thank HDH for just making all this possible. I'm sure I'm forgetting some people, but the faculty who are involved with the original advisory committee that made the, gave the right motivation and encouragement to Alex and Roy, and that would be Julie Burrell and Ross Frank. So give them all a hand. By way of introducing Alex and Roy, I'm going to tell you all the stories you won't read in the news. So, how did we pay for this? So this is actually years of savings, quarters, I'm not kidding, like literally coins, in the vending machines. To give you an idea how long this took, we don't even have vending machines anymore, right? So this is vending machines that were run by the students. It's like cracking open a piggy bank, and that is how the students paid for this piece. When Alex first came to me to say she wanted to make this piece happen, I said, not while you're still a student here, we had to plan a few years ahead. And she said, no, it's going to happen before I graduate. That was 2 years ago. Alex is graduating next Saturday. Roy was president of Muir College Council last year and has been supporting this all the way through, and we'll be here next year, and I don't know what else Roy's going to do. But thank you so much for that. This is really important to us at John Muir College because, as you know, our namesake, let's just say he wasn't a good friend to the native people that were in the lands that he traveled. And the youth from Resbeat, I see some folks from Resbeats from the other night, were here last Friday, I want to say, and one of the songs that they sang was actually a song of welcome. So just to give you a sense of this, this is a song of welcome, welcoming people who were displaced by what has become our national parks and our rivers and our dammed rivers, because they were displaced and they moved to San Diego and the reservations here, and these were welcome songs that were sung by the, I want to say the Luiseño, in Luiseño here welcoming those tribes. So those are people who are displaced by some of the work and legacy of the conservationists who our college is named after. So this is really important work that our students are taking on. And I'd like to think about it as not necessarily trying to rewrite history, but actually rewrite our paths for the future, right? So we are trying to walk towards supporting a decolonial future, an indigenous future, a Kumeyaay future. So we've actually been inspired to create a new student leadership award. And I don't know the exact name yet because it's in Kumeyaay, but loosely translated is Kumeyaay Futures. The award is inspired by Alex and Roy's efforts, which have been sustained, a long-term commitment. Again, they've been working on this for 2 years, despite administrators like myself telling them it's not possible. Thankfully, we have a chancellor who said it is possible. This is an award that is meant to recognize students who are building good relations with the Kumeyaay people. And then finally, the name Futures is because this is really about being accountable to the grandmothers, but trying to make this place a better place for the grandchildren. And so this is about students who are forwarding a future, an indigenous future here, a Kumeyaay future. And so presenting this amazing award will be Johnny? All right. And Christy. So, and this is a surprise to you, but we'll present a word and we'll give you a chance to speak. Okay? So, you want to come on up?
Once again, to reiterate what Wayne was putting down, it's wonderful to see folks who have endeavored and you've accomplished it, and you motivated me. You motivated me to make sure that I'm aware and involved and to be consistent in my efforts as well as a public artist. Christy and I have worked on some pieces that essentially miniatures of the two art pieces that we would like to give to you today. And this, we hope, will go on to be a future award for excellence in bringing recognition to the diversity of the campus and individual groups. So without further ado, Alex, I'd like to present you with this bracelet. Yes, we can adjust them to size.
Let's see it.
This is a surprise, and that was a surprise too. Thank you. Usually I cry a lot, so I'm surprised I haven't gotten there yet, but maybe this will do it. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad to see so many people are interested in this. As it's been said before, this did start 2 years ago with just Rory and I wanting to make it happen, and I'm very glad that it happened before I graduate. I'm very proud. There were a lot of students, faculty, and staff who helped us along the way, and I especially want to thank Elena Hood and Stan Rodriguez, who isn't here anymore, but for introducing us to Johnny Bear in the first place. Without their introduction, this process would have taken a lot longer and probably been a lot more difficult. I hope this piece serves as a reminder to all who see it that they are on Kumeyaay land, and that students who see it and pass by it will just move through the university a little more thoughtfully and more considerate as to what that means. Thanks.
Hello everyone. First off, I want to thank Alex specifically because from the very beginning this was her idea. She invited me to help her out with it. So I want to thank you for that, for letting me be part of this. It's been an amazing 2 years of on and off of focusing on this only and then being stuck and kind of having it on the background, and then someone doing something that allows us to move forward. So I want to thank all the administration and everyone that was around, even though there was moments where I was like, oh, you might not be able to do it, y'all were never negative about it, y'all were just trying to help us be more realistic about it. Luckily, we were able to do it before Alex graduated, but I do want to thank y'all for that, never really having any pushback, but more of a trying to help us be realistic. Chancellor, I hope you know I'm going to be here next year, so I might come back for you for more stuff. Who knows? But yeah, so I also want to thank John Wang, who didn't get a shout out earlier, but deserves one. He was both of our I do deserve the first part of it, and he helped out a lot. Yeah. Also, I did not expect this. Thank you so much for this.
Well, thank you again. Let's give him another hand. And we're going to want your picture later by the police, please. And then finally, finally, in closing, I'd like to invite Elena Hood, the director of the Tribal Resource Center, to say a last few words. Thanks so much.
Miyuyam, good morning. Notram Elena Hood Yakan. I'm the director for the Intertribal Resource Center here at UC San Diego. Have you been to our center before? See some of you over there. Yeah, well, if you don't know, come and visit us. We're on the second floor, Price Center. I always tell people we're right on top of Rubio's, so now you know where we are. The Intertribal Resource Center, I've been here on campus for 3 years. And in that time, one of our primary goals was to build community on campus. The number of Native American students at UCSD, like comparable to the other UCs, is small. We have a lot of work to do in terms of increasing the number of Native students here. But the students that are here need a community. They need to be honored, respected, their needs need to be met and addressed, they need to be recognized. And one of the best ways to do that is for students to be able to see representations of themselves while they're on campus. As a Native person myself, I can remember being an undergraduate and sitting in a classroom with 300 people and taking a look all around me and seeing not one other Native student in that classroom. And if you've never had that experience before, it is palpable. It is something that really strikes you in your gut. You feel it in your heart. You feel it in your soul. To be in this place, coming from the reservations or coming from a more traditional family or being a Native person, coming to a place like UC campus, it's like coming to another planet. It's like coming to another dimension sometimes. And when you don't see representations of yourselves or other people like you, it just makes it that much more challenging, right? So at UC San Diego, I'm really proud to be working here because this university is making concerted efforts to make positive changes for our Native American students that are here currently and for those that are still going to come, the young ones that are here today. I've seen a couple of them on campus before, and I want them to feel that this is a home for them, that this is a place that they belong, that this is a place that they are respected and that they are represented. And so having this art piece here is one of those big moves to really demonstrate that the university is not just about talk. They're not just about putting a little blurb online or just making news headlines or something like that. They're actually making a concerted effort to make a home for Native students and Native communities here at UC San Diego. When I have students that come and visit us in the center, we like to do a little campus tour. And we hit up Peterson Hall where they can see the Kumeyaay photo exhibit. So if you haven't seen that, make sure that you stop in there. It's right on the inside of where the Chicano mural is. And we hit that spot so that they know, we know who you are. We know who your grandparents are. We respect that. And you are belonging here. This is a place where you belong. And when you get here, we're going to take care of you. We're going to make sure that you're successful. We're going to make sure that your needs are met. And now we have this second piece that's specifically designed to respect that, to pay homage to the Kumeyaay folks that, like Mike Connolly was saying, it's not that they were here, it's that they are here, right? So we're able to see this representation of ourselves as Native people on campus. It's a beautiful thing. So I really want to give a lot of respect, gratitude, and thanks to Alex and Roy for leading this. When I come to work here, I start to think of my students as like my own kids. So I have about 200 kids now. Although Alex and Roy, we haven't spent a lot of time together, I just want to tell you how very proud I am, how, as a mother, as an educator, that I'm very proud of the work that you've done, and very grateful for the commitment that you've made to not just the university, but specifically to our Native American communities. I want you to know that you are seen, that you are, I'm a crier too, that you are seen, that you're appreciated, and that you are valued. And we appreciate the work that will be here to live long after your graduation for all of the other Native students and community members to enjoy. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you all for coming today. That ends our program. Go forward in peace.